Alright. Testing, check 1, 2, and hello, YouTube. How we doing, baby girl? Sorry about that. But how we doing, baby girl? So, yep, I'm James with a Z, as you can see. We're doing a face reveal, isn't that cool? And, we're gonna take that opportunity, because a big muscular man that I am, we're gonna just open up some power wash, have a good time, and talk about Whatifalthist history. So, for those who don't know, Whatifalthist history is a YouTube channel known for, obviously, old history. But, his history lessons are kind of brain dead. And I'm hoping I could showcase that a little bit by getting a little going on, you know what I mean? Thank you for the lurk, Woolly Rug Rider, getting tabbed. Or going to bed, nice. What up, Peyton? We're doing political shit right now, Peyton, so I know you're not the biggest fan of that. So feel free to back on out. And, yeah. Without further ado, why don't I give y'all a little sneak peek at what we're reacting to here. The coming far-right backlash. With this thumbnail. Wait. The fucking Christian frog lobster-ass shit right here. So?
The history of the world moves by pendulum. There is progress, which is why we aren't giant toads living in salty tidal pools anymore, but it's nowhere near to a straight path, with countless ups, downs, and countervening directions. History does move in a direction, but I can swear that it's not one that you, or even I, can really understand. One of the modern left's...
I mean, there are many modes of analysis for history that you can use to determine a changing direction. Like, nobody can see into the future, of course, but, like, even then, as, a dialectical materialist, I can say that, like, a lot of conflicts are going to be the result of the, what's the word I'm looking for? Right, a lot of events in history. Well, is a story. Dialectical materialism is like the method of using against history, but then historical materialism is when you apply it. So I'm trying to get is that, like, the idea here is that antagonisms, right, are usually the result of material conditions and not, ideals or something else, right? So if you want an example, right, the whole international slave trade, the only reason we stopped owning slaves wasn't because we finally realized, like, oh, America said we should have every man created equal, but rather we decided, this little working class uprising over here of slaves is kind of killing us right now. Maybe we should give them what they want, aka freedom. Right? So automatically, already, kind of sussy. Right? Like, to say that you can't, like, at all look at history is really weird. I might be putting words in his mouth, so let me go back and double check.
One that you, or even I, can really understand. One of the modern left's favorite phrases is that they are on the right side of history. However,
yes, we are, objectively.
Tell you that wasn't true. That the next 2 decades belong to the very opposite group, the far right. From looking at the patterns in history and trends, I believe that the pendulum will swing back in the other direction for the next few decades. Although I myself am a right...
Just for context, by the way, this video came out 10 months ago. So he might be right, honestly, but back when he first uploaded it, it didn't seem to be heading that way, based on trends, because 10 months ago, we didn't have the whole October 7th I think it's October 7th, right? That Hamas invaded Israel or whatever. And then Biden went like full on Israel simp. That didn't happen back then. So nobody really had a reason to hate Biden. In fact, I'm pretty sure 10 months ago was like right around the time he started doing work with the NLRB, if I'm not mistaken. Like Biden was on a fucking roll with the left. Like even socialists like myself and Vosh were like, hell yeah, Biden. And now I will admit it is an uphill battle trying to explain to normies, or not normies, right? Trying to explain to other socialist advocates who are like very wrapped up in principle, or just people who disagree with the Israel-Palestine conflict in general, to vote for Biden still because he's marginally better than Trump. But I do think it would be kind of based if we could just move past the whole Biden being an Israel simp thing and acknowledge that he's still doing a lot of good for the left, and maybe through pushbacks on Israel Palestine we can get him to become more based, obviously. But until then, we would prefer more Biden than more Trump. I would prefer at least not to have the what's it called? I would at least prefer not to have the Israel-Palestine conflict be the crux of why we don't get a pro-union president anymore. Compared to a president who's going to fuck our economy and still support Israel like tenfold. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense for someone to say 10 months ago that it doesn't make sense for someone 10 months ago to say that Biden was going to lose unless they just like were
winger. It would be a lie for me to say I'm not terrified for how far the pendulum might go in the other direction. For many of you, this will shatter your conception of the universe, and I'm excited to see what the comments are for this video. Well, why are we wasting time? Let's get started. There's a lot going on in the world right now, and it would be great to try and understand some of it, but it frequently feels difficult to find the time to read or study in daily life. Thankfully, Blinkist has what you need.
Blinkist. I'm not too sure. You might be based. I don't fucking care, honestly. Sponsorships are cringe. You already know our views on advertisements.
Only listen to The End of the World is Just the Beginning by Peter Zeihan. You know how much I love Zeihan's work and how much of an influence he's had on my philosophy and understanding of the world, and you can share that too. Zeihan talks about how the current geopolitical situation and how we are likely to have a major world crisis as driven by demographics and aging, or global supply chain interconnectivity problems. In this fascinating work, he goes through what the world after the crisis may look like, and I highly encourage you to try it out in Blinkist today. A big thanks to Blinkist for sponsoring this video, and for my viewers, Blinkist is offering 25% off.
Back to the video. I just want to hear some
We're all
about
strangers to the world we live in. That since we're so familiar with our current time, that we have no frame of reference for what's strange, wrong, and all that, since we don't know what makes us special. We're fish in a pond that have never seen the outside world, and even more so, the bodies of those fish are mostly made up of water of the pond they live in. In the same way, we make up and cannot be separated from the era of history we live in, the culture we live in, and all that. Thus, it's incredibly funny to see the left portray itself as the rebels and the little guy. Well, in fact, they are the...
Well, I mean, we technically are, because even liberals aren't on the left. We have to, like, people have to remember that the political compass portrays the left as like or left versus right as an economical difference, like an economic disparity, and liberals are perfectly fine with capitalism, dude. Like, I hate to be the bearer of bad news here, but yes, the left is the minority. Because it's full of socialist, progressive sock dems, people who don't like the status quo. So, yes, we literally are rebels in that regard as well. Like, I don't know why a lot of right wingers go on this fucking rant. Hey, it's my best friend James, C boy. Let's go. How you doing? How you doing, Beck, you fucking Australian tunky? Oh, let me just get another sip. What's up, Flaming Fortune? We're just looking over dumb history videos. So,
Ruling class today. In the mottos,
wait,
the left portray
wait.
itself as the rebels and the little guy. Well, in fact, they are the ruling class today.
Okay. We are the ruling class. You know, socialists like Bernie Sanders are the ruling class today. I love that argument. Like, literally anybody can debunk that instantly. But look at the fact that a lot of rich people tend to vote heavily Republican, or the fact that like even liberal corporations that like pander to a more left-leaning demographic, even they're right wing. Because the moment that shit's over, the moment like Pride Month, like we have memes about this. We have memes about companies when June is over, like June 31st, 11:59 p.m. Oh my God, we love you, queer kings and queens. We love you. You're awesome. Midnight on July 1st. You dirty queers need to die. Like we know this already. It's rainbow capitalism. They're not really at all ruling class. It's fucking corporate pandering to a more broader left demographic because even libcucks fall for that shit. And they know that libcucks fall for that shit. Like, it's not about left wing ideology being the ruling class. It's about liberals having socially left wing views, but not. You're making me feel sick. Fuck you. Oh, you make me feel sick? Yeah. Exactly. They literally say you make me feel sick. But yeah, liberals do fall for that shit all the time, and it works, you know? So, if anything, even then, capitalism, uh, the right wing economic system, excuse me, is perfectly in the works. I got hiccups right now. It's real bad. But it's perfectly in the works. So, if anything, the ruling class will be right wing still, because they'd be capitalists. Pigs, bro. Left doesn't just mean socially left. Like, even then, the socially left are still like a minority in the corporate elite. It's just super weird for people to say that like that the ruling class is left wing, when the ruling class is not in favor of socialism, is not in favor of, you know, a free higher education, any form of left wing economic reform. Yeah, have a nice night, Fleming Fortune.
In the modern West, the left is the establishment. You can easily see this in that Jordan Peterson, Andrew Tate, and Donald Trump have all had legal action taken against them.
Wait. You're meaning to tell me that the left is the left is fucking responsible for right wingers going to jail for committing crimes? Andrew Tate isn't even American. So if we're gonna talk about American ruling class only, I don't know if he wants to talk about like other countries' ruling class, because I'd say like maybe Norway and Finland in that case have a more left wing ruling class because everybody over there is more broadly left wing economically. You know, because they're sock dems over there. But like, this is why we need. Give me a second. I gotta take a massive hit here. We're gonna steal a Vosh joke real quick. Here we go. We're stealing a Vosh joke. Let's just we're excited, you know what I mean? Alright, let's start agreeing with this guy. Now that we hit our crack pipe.
While there's no left-wing equivalent. In my own story, you YouTube has removed my videos on completely innocuous educational topics like American regional cultures or Southeast Asian anthropology without telling me why. The conservative
YouTube having a TOS does not mean YouTube having a TOS doesn't. I hate this so much. Everybody talks free speech, and then they rant about Twitter, a private corporation having a TOS. Dude, I wouldn't be in favor of YouTube even having a TOS, honestly, in a future, like, society that's more left-wing, you know? Because they're a multinational corporation and them having, like, control over what is and isn't said is kind of cringe. But if you're a right winger, you should be fine with this. You should be fine with it. You should be fine. This is establishment shit. Unless you're not a big fan of private ownership, and now you're all of a sudden a left winger. I just don't understand. It's so stupid, chat. This is what I mean by crack pipe history, by the way. And sorry, back to, because I got off the point again and played the video like a dumbass. Back to why the left isn't the establishment just because 3 criminals got arrested who are right-wingers. Like, I'm sorry that the Republican establishment wasn't a big fan of Trump before, during, and after the presidency. But we're just not allowed to be vocal about it because Trump was literally like a fascist. And that Andrew Tate got arrested for trafficking women overseas. And I'm super sorry that Jordan B. Peterson... What did Jordan B. Peterson even do to have a legal action taken against him? What was he like? I know Alex Jones. If he brought up Alex Jones, it would be the whole slander thing, the whole slandering the families of dead children during Jesus. During the, which school shooting did he say was fake? Sandy Hook? Yeah, it was Sandy Hook. But in regards to, Jordan Peterson, I don't know, maybe he slandered somebody and had legal action taken, or maybe he, like, promoted some product, because right-wingers love promoting products. They really love advertising. Maybe he promoted some product that, like, ended up harming his viewer base that bought it, because they were fucking stupid and bought it. Like, I don't know. It is really weird to me.
Without telling me why, the conservative satire site The Babylon Bee has this really funny segment about how a very large amount of American conservative leaders have been kicked off Twitter, but at the same time, people like Ayatollah Khomeini of Iran, lots of officials for the Chinese Communist Party, which is committing genocide, as well.
I mean, again, Twitter having a TOS isn't legal suppression of free speech. I don't know why this is their argument every time. By definition, Twitter having a terms of service doesn't mean that your free speech is being suppressed. It is the most brain-dead, moronic crackpipe take ever. And I just don't fucking get it, dude. I seriously don't understand why people believe this shit. It is absolutely insane. It is so fucking insane. And I agree with it. Every last bit. Every last bit. Oh, that shit was strong. Okay, yeah, no. Twitter suppresses my neocon daddy Donald, but not my sorry, I need another hit. Okay. Sorry. My neocon daddy Donald, but yeah, no, I will give me a second. Yeah, no, Jordan Peterson's banned, but the Chinese Communist Party's allowed on there. Kind of fucked up. How they got that TOS. It's almost as if like we break rules and we get banned and they don't, but they're bad people, so they don't get banned. Oh, cringe. Sorry, where was I? The high just wore off. What the fuck was I on about? Oh yeah, the CCP just hasn't broken TOS on Twitter, and they can't really ban random political figures you don't like off of Twitter just because you don't like them. I just... This is fucking next level retarded.
Lots of officials for the Chinese Communist Party, which is committing genocide, as well as Vladimir Putin's Russian government Twitter account, have maintained, showing a clear ideological bias. The dominant socialist...
Wait, but the left hates Putin. Wait. The left hates Putin. What are you on about? The left is pro-Ukraine, dog. Even liberals are pro-Ukraine, dude. So why are you mad about fucking... And you know this, because this was uploaded 10 months ago. Why are you mad about Putin still having a Twitter account that's antithetical to your own fucking argument? Give me a second. More crack. Okay. Oh, shit.
Bias. The dominant social institutions in academia, the media, Hollywood, most of the news, the bureaucracy, large parts of social media, growing parts of the military. The largest...
Give me a second.
Maintained, showing a clear ideological bias. The
Oh, by the way, this was their bias, by the way. This was the bias he talked about. What did I talk about literally minutes ago about Pride Month, like June 31st at 11:59 p.m. versus July 1st at midnight. Literally that meme. They take that shit out. It's rainbow capitalism, dude. He's mad about rainbow capitalism, dude. We're the ruling class because rainbow capitalism. Holy shit.
Social institutions of academia, the media, Hollywood, most of the news, the bureaucracy.
Oh, by the way, this argument that he makes right here doesn't make him look as good as you think it does, because you see that graph here? It's showing the politics of academia. And notice this red line is super fucking low, because no college-educated individuals are willing to vote right-wing, because they're fucking too smart to do so. Dude, wait, no, you know what it is? You know exactly what it is, right? It's them damn liberals. They invaded our academia, and now we're brainwashing our college students. You can tell by my double chin and lack of a occupation. My double chin and my lack of an occupation tell me. Local Twitch streamer who works at a fucking gas station. They tell me that give me one second. They tell me that you liberal cooks invaded our college systems. And you ain't getting away with it for long, brother. It'll be a cold day in hell before I let you, a liberal, invade my colleges. It'll be a cold day in hell. I had a synapse fire and now I'm awake. Oh, God.
The media, Hollywood, most of the news, the bureaucracy, large parts of social media, growing parts of the military, the largest corporations and defense contractors, significant parts of religious institutions in the United States.
Oh my God, he's talking about DEI or die. Depending on which one you want to put first, whether you want to put inclusion or equity first. Diversity, equity, inclusion. You know, the idea that we need, like, more broad demographics in our workforce because, you know, that's kind of based. To have, like, more people than not. Like, if you're just mad that the growing population is Sorry, let me get close to the camera. Hi. Like, if you're just mad that the growing population is, like, turning against you because you're retarded, maybe stop being retarded and just... You can't beat them, join them. And it's coming from a former centrist. A former centrist. Because I used to be like completely like one of them anti-woke motherfuckers. I was basically in Gamergate without actually being in Gamergate. Is the way I like to describe it, because I didn't engage in any Gamergate politics, but I would have agreed with them. You know what I mean? If I had known about them back then, I would have agreed. But I probably would be a lot different than who I am today, and that's terrifying to me. I don't know. It's just weird that, like... It's weird that they always bring up some, like, adjacent issue of... what am I saying? Real quick, let me go back. Yeah, like... The fucking... It's weird that they bring up some adjacent issue to prove their point, and then it, like, just isn't an actual point, even then. Like, even by their own fucking logic, they fall apart. It's insane. And I would have agreed with them for many years if I had just been a slightly different person. Right? Or just become slightly more aware of certain issues. I don't know, it's super scary to me. Moving on. Because diversity, equity, and inclusion is not like the big... It's not the big fucking... it's not the big issue you think it is. In fact, it's literally just allowing people to have a fair shake of things, and I think equity is pretty based, honestly, when it comes to the workplace. Like, they always use this straw man of, like, a diversity chart of, like, you're only allowed to have this exact percentage of minorities and of this minority and this percent of this minority, and anything else is going to be railed by my dad. No, it's always like, yeah, maybe just allow more people the opportunity to work with you, because we need workers. In fact, if you want a funny counter to the whole DEI or DIE, whatever you want to call it, because there's many ways to go about it. If you want to, like, give a funny counter, Ron DeSantis banning, like, all immigrants from coming into Florida, and then not having enough labor in the workplace, or not having enough labor in his state, so then he turns around and goes like, we need child labor to come back. It's fucking hilarious. So just remember, these fuckers would rather have child labor than a brown person working next to them. Alright, chat? I don't want you to forget that. Ooh, right there. It definitely needs work. My nose is no longer stuffy, so let's see if we can still get through this video.
And large parts of the legislature are run by left-wingers, and often very radical ones at that. Although
wait, you mean the DNC is pro AOC right now? No, they tolerate AOC, dude, because she's, like, still towing the party line, dude. AOC isn't even, like, left-wing. She's still a capitalist, isn't she? As far as I'm aware, she's literally still a capitalist who doesn't quite believe in the ideals of a socialist utopia, so even then she's not left-wing. So and then saying far left, as if that's, like, actually true. It's fucking funny. Sorry, excuse me one moment. Oh, my nose is stuffy, what the fuck? What the fuck? I guess it's on top. Uh, Here we go.
Occasionally wins a legislature are run by left-wingers, and often very radical ones at that. Although the right occasionally wins elections, the left runs every major institution in society. The quote-unquote rebels and oppressed now run society. As befits a...
Except we don't liberals, I guess. Like, neoliberals, I guess, maybe run society, but not at all leftists. Like, if you're gonna say far left in regards to AOC, you already lost. You already lost politics. Like, you lost the fucking plot of the conversation. You lost the plot of our entire, like, our entire political system as a whole. Like, you lost the plot, buddy. It's over. You're done. Where right here? There we go. And finally, the yellows and a faux shizzle, a flow sizzles. Your boy hop go hard like some cold nipples. I mean, what? Anyway.
Entrenched elite, they crack down on dissent and try to spread their the quote-unquote rebels and oppressed now run society. As befits an old entrenched elite, they crack down on dissent and try to spread their ideology. They have tried to turn every movie, TV show, all art, classic...
Uses Velma as an example of the far left going too woke, bro. Nobody liked Velma. Not because of, like, woke or whatever. We just hated the fact that the show wasn't good and didn't represent the characters we've known for over, like, 70 fucking years. See, that's the thing. With right-wingers, this is a Vosh take as well that I heard that I just, like, I can't get out of my head now because of how accurate it is. Right? By the way, Whatifalthist history here has debated Bosch, so if you want to go check that debate out and, like, gather some brain cells from this guy, it'll be a fun time. But, one thing that Vosh said that I can't get out of my head is that with right-wingers, movies can't just be bad anymore. Like, if it's some, like, right-wing fucking nonsense movie, it's actually good because it agrees with me, right? Like, and if it's some left-wing show, like, or if it's some, like, populist left-wing show, it's, like, only there for like the diversity quota leftism that we talked about before with, like, in terms of, I'm trying to remember what video game said that they were gonna have a diversity slider to determine how diverse their characters were, or some shit like that, and it's like, okay, dog. Yeah, this is really what the left wants. No, it's like idpol shit, right? Whenever they go full on liberal idpol on a TV show and the show is bad, just in general, they're like, it's bad because it's woke. And, like, in terms of Velma, maybe. But even with good movies, they go like, oh, it's bad because woke. Like, bad movies can't be, like, anything but woke in their mind, and good movies can't be anything but, like, super based destructions of the woke left. It's super weird when you think about it, but, like, you can have, like, really bad movies and have leftists be like, yeah, this is kind of a dog shit movie, but, like, it's whatever, right? And then they'll also see, like, some right-wing movie being bad and be like, it's kind of bad, but why is the right, like, propping up this bad movie? Do they really have nothing good to show for it? Like, and then we move on. We're like, yeah, this movie's probably gonna be bad, but, like, if it isn't, we'll go watch it or whatever. Like, hell, I don't, as like fucking, as much as Quentin Tarantino loves the N-word, I don't think a lot of leftists are really hating Django, as far as I'm aware. Maybe I'm just, like, unaware because I don't really partake in online discourse in the left, but, like, If the left really hates Django online, then it's whatever. I thought it was a decent movie. It was a good time, you know. And movies about slavery are kind of cool because I like looking into like that point in time. I like looking into points in history and being like, huh, interessant. Oh, sorry, I forgot we're not speaking French anymore because French bad. But yeah, no, it just something really weird is that a movie can never just be a bad movie, or a show can never just be a bad show. It's always got to be like some ideological distinction making the show bad when it comes to the right, and then the left will be like, yeah, this right wing movie is good, and this right wing movie is dog shit. And even then, it's like fucking even with good movies, they say it's dog shit. Like I said with Barbie, Barbie was fucking awesome. All right, from Giga Alpha Chad James over here, Barbie was a good movie, and you're gonna watch it, motherfucker.
In school and university and every other output for human thought into their propaganda. If you can't see this already, you don't want to see it, or you're old enough to be detached from the main part of the society. As said before, they silence those that disagree with them and have ever increasing.
God gamer, but cooler power washing. Yep, we are power washing, but we're also reacting to what if old history, having a take about how the far right is gonna like be in control in the next couple decades or something like that. It's a really weird video. We're doing political shit, and I just needed something to play while I react to it. Yes, indeed. Lower deck undersides. Which lower deck underside? I don't see you. Lower deck underside. Ah, right here. Where's the damage incurred? But yeah, no, we're pretty chill about it. You know, let's see why this guy is retarded.
Standards of purity.
You do know your Trumps and your Bidens. That's fucking good. We're gonna be uploading this to YouTube, by the way. It's gonna be a real fun time if you want to stop by over there, or if you want to learn a bit more, because we're a socialist over here. You know, we're commies. We're commie bastards who hate the Soviet Union still, though. We hate that shit very heavily. You can stop by the Discord if you type an exclamation point Discord in my chat.
Used to instill fanaticism in their ranks. This has been the way the world has been since the 1960s, and people often don't realize how much of a shift it's been. Our society had a series of massive social shifts that occurred in the 1960s, which I think are on the same degree as the rise of Christianity, Islam, or a major world religion. This is include trying to push for total male and female social equality.
Wait, a couple things. First off, glad he's not religious, apparently, because of the way he's talking about how this is on par with establishing a world religion, which the right wants. But also, I want y'all to think critically here. What could have happened in the 60s that made conservatism look bad? I wonder what happened in the 1960s that made conservatism look really, really bad. All right, that is that. I'll have. It rhymes with egg, Dick Grayson. Get it? Because Robin laid an egg. But egg, Dick Grayson, segregation. All right. So yeah, no, maybe a more left wing, quote unquote, social push was the result of conservatism looking really, really bad in the 60s. And even today, people saying that social movement, that progressive social movement, that was net positive for society, if you have a broader, like, base moral framework. It's really weird that you would see a world where even today people are shitting on Martin Luther King and calling him like too woke or whatever. And like also, what was his name? Fucking Crowder going full on like crackles when crack wasn't even around. Like I wonder, out of all these fucking things that happened in the '60s, why the right would look kind of cringe enough for a broader leftist social push. I wonder. Now all we need is for the economy to fail for the 100th fucking time in America, and we'll push for a more broader economic movement to the left. That'll be pretty based, wouldn't it?
Of sex from baby making and leading to free love.
Oh well, sex and baby making.
Total male and female social equality, the decoupling of sex from baby making and leading to free love, the idea of complete racial and ethnic equality, that war is inherently immoral, as is.
Wait, complete racial and ethnic equality is a bad thing? Excuse me? You heard it here first, folks. Holy shit. Let's go back.
Push for total male and female social equality.
Sounds good.
Sex from baby making and leading to free love. The idea of complete racial and ethnic equality. That war is inherently immoral, as is empire building. That all people are equally intelligent, and we just need better socializing to create a utopia. This is a bigger.
Well, no. I'm not a utopian. The utopia will never be here. We're gonna fight over this shit till the stars, till last star of the universe is burnt up, or until like all of humanity is wiped out. We're gonna fight over this shit because we're human, we're flawed, we're fucking stupid. I just don't understand why you would group up all these base social movements and these based pushes for social progress and be like, too woke for me. Nah, you know what he did? It's too woke for me. Anyway, back to hating the blacks. Like, no shit. And look, a great example of equity. Let's go. Equality and equity. We love equity, dude. We love equity on the left. Why don't you come join us, Whatifalthist history, crack pipe history. Speaking of crack pipe, we gotta start agreeing with this guy again. Speaking of crack pipe, we gotta start agreeing with him again.
A utopia. This is a bigger than the idea of equity or equal outcomes and equality or legal equality. The sheer demographic power of the baby boomer generation, which in Western countries grew up in the easiest era in history ever, as I talk about in this video, has meant that the 1960s cultural norms have been pushed ever since, and now have reached the point
of me neither. I don't like I prefer we go back to segregation. I don't know why we haven't yet. This is me doing my crack pipe. I'm always throwing the southern accent when I hit the crack pipe. Just to let you know, I love me some crack because I'm white.
The message that the baby boomers pushed is that judging someone else is the worst thing a person can do, and that
I will judge you. I will judge you. Whatifalthist history, I will judge you for being a crack addict. That's the only way you can be ascribed these political beliefs, bro. There's no other way. You have to be on crack to believe the shit that Whatifalthist history is saying here. Unironically, you have to be on crack. Based.
Humanity is inherently good, both of which anyone who has studied human nature or the historic record can see is a complete lie. However, since the post-war era was so wealthy, there was...
Wait. That humanity is inherently equal and good? Humanity being good? Like, humanity being good? I can agree isn't like this inherent fucking, like, thing. That's, like, I would argue that's not true, that humanity is inherently good. But to, like, make humans equal would be pretty good, would it not? Right? Whatifalthist history? you would be willing to make humans equal, right? Or at the very least, bring about human equity to where let's say for example, black people wouldn't be thrown into separate schools because crackers didn't like the whiteys, or crackers didn't like the darkies. Oh fuck, I'm gonna get banned off Twitch for saying that. Oh well. It's just so weird. It's super weird, dude. To say that, like, to specifically say the 60s is when this broader leftist social movement began, already sets yourself up for failure because holy shit. It's it's literally the right wing talking point about how the Civil Rights Act was like unethical or unconstitutional. Which right wingers love saying, by the way, if you want to ask them about their beliefs on the Civil War, or not on the Civil War. Well, the Civil War works too because it'll say it's about state rights or whatever. But when you want to ask a right winger about the Civil Rights Act or just the civil rights movement as a whole, just make sure that they think it's immoral for black people to have craved equality that badly. Like they literally think that. Like their idea for that was like wait a couple more years so you don't have to so you don't have to break the US Constitution when you're advocating for your own freedom. Because freedom is cringe, my gamer.
No pressure towards telling the truth or having a realistic appraisal of reality, and so people believed what they wanted to believe. Our sense of time is kind of warped today. It's easy for people my age to forget the 60s are still in living memory, and the norm in history is for trends to play out over centuries. Thus, we would only start to see the negative cultural results of choices made in the 60s today, since only...
Oh yeah, the negative results of the Civil Rights Act. I'm gonna keep bashing that over his head because holy shit, the Civil Rights Act was immoral, guys. I don't know what to tell you, bro. You already lost the plot, bro. Like, you're losing the plot with a normie right now. I don't know. Something about me, something about this guy tells me that I'm not gonna be too fond of his other political ascriptions. Ah, here we are. Move the fuck out of my way. Yeah. Now spray. And move on.
Now we're seeing the people who remember the pre-60s social order dying off. Coding in my
Good.
really character building.
Wait. Good. The pre-60s social era was fucking segregation. Good. Good that we got rid of that, actually. Whatifalthist? What is your moral framework that you use to analyze reality again, Mr. Alt History? Could you perhaps remind the class? Because right now you are speaking to a rule utilitarian. And I think on average freedom is pretty good. I don't know. Upper house wall. Upper house wall. The vertical trim.
Error in the code's logic throws the whole code off. It teaches discipline and focus, and people often fail to realize that the real world is often pretty similar. A car needs so many things to work, and a single error can keep it from functioning. Societies are the same, in that a single problem, like a failed military, a terrible economy, a religion that's not compelling, and many more, can doom a society to failure. The way healthy societies view the world...
Yeah, society is kind of fucked under capitalism, dude. On God. Base take from Whatifalthist over here.
Their traditions are almost like a castle against the chaos of the world. Almost everything new that's attempted fails, and traditions and evolutionary processes mean we can pull on billions of years of our ancestors who have been trying to figure out how to make things work. The problem with most societies is they're incapable of changing out their traditions, dooming our societies to fossilization.
Dude, this sounds like a pro-socialism argument all of a sudden. What? Let's hear that again, but replace certain words with socialism.
Everything new that's attempted fails, and traditions and
Socialism, everything attempted. Everything new that's attempted fails. Socialism.
evolutionary processes mean we can pull on billions of years of our ancestors
Of wanting to create an equitable society, a meritocracy, if you will. Mm-hmm. Even though I don't believe in meritocracy, it's utopian.
who have been trying to figure out how to make things work. The
Socialism.
Most societies, they're incapable of changing out their traditions, dooming
Capitalism.
our societies to fossilization.
Capitalism and conservatism. You know, wanting to conserve the time period you're in. Hmm? This dude is like unironically making a leftist argument right now.
However, the most successful cultures, for example the West, are able to keep their core identities and then develop institutions like democracies or markets that gradually change out traditions as the world changes so they can keep their vigor as the world keeps changing around them. However,
I thought he accidentally said a certain word there that you're not supposed to say on YouTube or Twitch. I thought he said the spooky little N-word chat, but he said Vigor with a V. I was having a seizure there. What the fuck? Oh man. Sorry, my alpha fucking body structure was falling apart there. I had to stretch. The mewing starts now, by the way, chat.
Thomas Sowell has put it, the left has an open view of the world, or that humans are perfectible and can be trained to turn the world into a utopia. They hold that if there's a disparity in the world, it must stem from someone's conscious judgment. The reality of
Wait, but that's true, though. At least in terms of the US, you know, when we had slaves, and the economic outcomes of owning slaves benefited the non-slaves. Are you like good, my dude? Do you need to change your channel to what if alt retardation? Like I just don't understand how you could be so incorrect all the time. How nice is this window frame? Let's get down to business. Let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. Excuse me. Oh man, I'm about to burp again. I hate burping.
Yeah. They hold that if there's a disparity in the world, it must stem from someone's conscious judgment. The reality of the world is that inequality is the norm and stems from a variety of reasons, whether geographic, historical, cultural, and so forth. However, the left thinks the only cause of any kind of disparity is someone oppressing someone else. This may sound silly, but
objectively, what the fuck is this picture? Why are there just titties on the screen? Is this the French Revolution? I see her. I'm trying to zoom in on the flag. Because it's red, white, and blue still, you know? Not to show the woman's titties, but, you know. Like. Also, wait, I gotta zoom in the corner over here. What the fuck? This dude's got his pew-pew and he's going crazy, bro. He's like, yeehaw, brother! Fucking yee. Are you sure this isn't America? It looks like some American movie, bro. Like, it's so good. Actually, no, it looks like some British dude on the left. Maybe it was the French Revolution. I'm not too familiar with the image being used, but to say that racial disparities aren't like the result of, you know, different races not liking each other and one having power in comparison to the other, saying that that has zero to do with it is really weird. What is vertical house? Oh, vertical house trim. Okay, okay. Oh, I get it. The horizontal house trim right here, or the roof trim, and then we have the vertical. I almost said horizontal again. We have the vertical trim. So now the idea is to go to all of these and look for the one that is not complete. Non-complete, non-complete. Ah, my nose hurts so bad, dude. Like, I have some, like, pain right fucking here on the inside of my nose, and it's so bad. It's been hurting for, like, a week. And every now and then, drop my controller, give me a second. By the way, we're streaming with this because we're working class, and Whatifalthist uses a computer. Kinda cringe to not listen to working class, bro. But no, like, every now and then I'll just randomly get that pain and just go like, and like stop it. Like, it hurts so fucking bad. It's so annoying. Wait, I have 2 vertical house trims to get. And 2 walls? Ah, here's one of the walls. There you go. Let's look for the other house wall. Oh, it's literally this one. Psych, 'tis the season to suck my cock. What a old history. Anyway.
Put in these terms, but it's an incredibly enticing view of the world, since it paints the liberators as heroes and abdicates them from any self-reflection and responsibility, since they're the good people who are saving the world. A reasonable person looks at the historic record and uses it to project the future, since the past is the only thing we have, and thus it's the best thing we have to understand the future. This isn't controversial in the sciences, but is in the social sciences and humanities. This is since leftists would like to project their religious view of infinite progress that will give them more power, or the moral arc of history. In effect, they are substituting a serious study in exchange for a fantasy. However, the changes that have been made...
Wait. The fact that slavery was a result of material conditions and biases between those who have power and those who don't? To have that analysis on the existence of the international slave trade is somehow a fantasy? What does he think the 60s were about? Because he was complaining about the 60s. What does he think the 60s were about, chat? I genuinely need to know. Does this motherfucker think the 60s were, like, we all kept to ourselves, and it was real nice. Sorry, here. I know exactly what he thought. New area to clean, by the way. I know exactly what he thought. Give me one moment. You see, we all kept to ourselves. And it was real nice, alright? It was real nice, because when we kept to ourselves, we got to, we whites, we keep to our own, you know. As do them blacks and them neat. You know, I'm not gonna finish that word. I was gonna keep the bit going, but I don't think I'm gonna finish that word if I want to keep my platform up for enough time. I was gonna like full on like 100% like full throttle the bit, but then I realized like maybe I shouldn't go mask off racist when making a joke about people being racist. You know, maybe maybe not. Maybe not full on like say the words that right wingers would say like 20 years ago because they thought it was funny. I don't know. Something told me not to do it though. Don't know what it was. But no, unironically, what the fuck does this guy think the 60s were? Just like, you don't understand. The Civil Rights Act is in violation of states' rights. Same way that the Civil War was in violation of states' rights. Like, okay, dude. Sorry that you think slavery is based or whatever, but I would rather violate federal law to free people or state law to make people more free than I would to just like stick with the status quo like a cringy liberal. What are you, a liberal? Whatifalthist? Wait. Whatifalthist? I got a serious question to ask ya. It's from my buddy Vosh asking this question. All right.
Fucking liberal?
Oh, sorry.
What? What are you, a fucking liberal? What? Law! Law!
Are you? Whatifalthist? Are you a fucking liberal? Law? You care more about law than you care about ethics? Kind of cringe. Like, I know you want to simp for historical daddies like Adolf Hitler and, you know. Okay, I don't know if I want to actually say that does seem a bit slanderous to say that what if all history idolizes Hitler when it's obvious that he idolizes Stalin. Because Stalin hated the gays too, you know. Same way he does. But, you know, Hitler hated the gays, the Jews. See that's the difference. Whatifalthist doesn't hate Jews. He just hates everybody else that Hitler hated. So that he simped for Hitler would be kind of fucked up, you know what I mean? But no, it's just I still can't get over the fact that he thinks the '60s was like the civil rights movement was cringe. That's like the only thing I think of for the '60s, because every time someone says the '60s, all you think is segregation ended. That's the only like broader political movement that happened in the '60s that first comes to mind with people. So it almost feels dog whistly in a sense, because he could be referring to some like niche fucking. He could be technically referring to some like niche political movement in the '60s that might have been a little cringe. I don't know. I'm not fully read up on every single political movement happened in the '60s, but he can probably use that defense when people call him out for literally thinking the civil rights movement was cringe. He'd be like, well, I was talking about the civil. Whoa, who said it? I never said the civil rights movement. All right, don't slander me here. Don't strawman me here. I was obviously talking about this random political movement that nobody's fucking heard of until today. When I was talking more broadly about leftist political movements in the 1960s being bad. Like, oh my god, it's so cringe. What if alt history?
What are you, a fucking liberal?
But I agree, though. I agree full-heartedly. Civil Rights Act was unconstitutional, and Martin Luther King loved his crack horse. I don't know.
For the changes that have been made since the 60s presupposes a series of assumptions of the world that have never been tested or evaluated. Those that men and women can healthily have the same social roles.
Wait. These things haven't been tested? Are you joking? Anxiety and depression were through the fucking roof during the 50s. Sure, it was because we were first, like, starting to diagnose it as well. But, like, dude, It was more prevalent in the women during that time period because they had no fucking freedom. We have so much historical precedent to empirically say that freedom, social freedom, just broader freedom, even positive freedom, makes people a lot fucking happier. Are you like? I don't even. Are you brain dead? Are you? But first YouTube video with a face camera, we're having to talk about why the civil rights movement was bad. Are you fucking joking me? And talking about why like feminism as a concept back in the 60s was pretty fucking tight. Even though it didn't do a lot for black women back then because, they were still fighting segregation. And even in today's world, black women don't get enough credit. I don't know, it's just fucking weird. Well, like, I am gonna have a fucking aneurysm by the end of this stream. We have a 15-minute video to go over about what if alt history, and this is what I mean by he's brain dead. Untested that fucking social roles that are subjectively determined would be better off for people. Are you fucking kidding me?
Agendas are wise and capable, that there are not long-standing reasons that different ethnicities have different results, that society's structure itself is evil. Pushing this many changes upon a society this fast is not reform, it's suicide. And the people pushing this even say their goal is the complete destruction of the previous society. However, they fail to tell us what plans they have to replace it.
I can't, dude. I fucking can't. I can't, chat. End my sorrow. End my suffering. Chat. He's saying unironically that like black people were segregated in the 60s because they were just not based enough. I don't know. Like different. What did he actually say there about racial groups?
People pushing these agendas are wise and capable, that there are not long-standing reasons that different ethnicities have different results, that society's structure itself is evil.
There are not long-standing reasons why different ethnicities get different results. Wait, are you saying that black people are like objectively worse? because like 1350, is he a 1350 guy? I don't actually know much about Whatifalthist history. Is he like a 1350 kind of guy? Like, not only is 1350 not true, but like, if he believes it, he's unironically not understanding the sociological like background behind that statistic. See, this is why a lot of lefties study sociology, and get poli-sci degrees. I wish more lefties would get into economics because economics is pretty based. But like, it's fucking hilarious how oh, what's it called? It's fucking sorry, I got sidetracked by spraying. It's fucking hilarious how he thinks that like segregation wouldn't have an impact on black people as a whole during the 60s economically, politically, sociologically. Just just doesn't fucking happen. Dude, black people are just in poverty because they're not good enough, forehead. Why didn't they just why didn't they just go to the white people's school after hours when the white people weren't around? Why didn't they just go to why didn't they just work harder in the jobs they weren't allowed to work because white people said no darkies allowed? Dude, why not? Why didn't you just work harder, bozo? Like, what the fuck is he on right now? I don't get it, dude. I don't fucking get it. Oh shit, man. Holy fuck.
Pushing this many changes upon a society this fast is not reform, it's suicide. And the people pushing this even say their goal is the complete destruction of the previous society. However, they fail to tell us what plans they have to replace it, only criticizing the previous culture. However, since their plan has no clear direction,
It does.
we need them to lead us through this plan. This plan is exactly what the Soviet expert whose job was to destroy non-communist societies, Yuri Bezmenov, said the leftist scheme was. The reality of history is that it bounces back and forth. An empire rises, then falls into barbarism, then 400 years later, a scholar uncovers ancient scrolls that allow a renaissance. Sometimes society becomes more liberal, then religious fanaticism rolls over the society when things get more chaotic. History generally does trend towards greater complexity and advancement, but it's unclear if it will do that over the next 1,000 years or if we're facing another dark age. However, an order based on...
Wait. You think... This guy thinks, like, us freeing the slaves just sent us on, like, a historical path towards the Dark Ages. Unironically, he thinks and I hate to keep bringing up the Civil Rights Movement, but he himself said the 60s, did he not? And that black people are in the situations they're in because of their own choices or whatever. Like, these are points we've heard hundreds of times. Even normies have heard this shit from the right at this point. It's fucking hilarious, dude. There's no sociological reason why black people are in poverty, bro. They're just not working hard enough. And when we freed the slaves, that was actually, like, bad, bro. Because freeing the slaves was, like, political and societal suicide. That's what that was, dude. I don't even know what to tell you, bro. I can't wait to upload this, dude. It's so bad. It's so incredibly bad. Holy shit.
Rebelling against non-order cannot survive. What was harmless rebellion among teenagers in the 50s has now become an all-consuming vortex. The left's lack of sense
Wait, what has become an all-consuming?
in the 50s has now become an all-consuming that over the next 1,000 years, or if we're facing another dark age. However, an order based on rebelling against non-order cannot survive. What was harmless rebellion among teenagers in the 50s has now become an all-consuming vortex. The left's lack of sense of stability dooms their movement. I've spent this video so far ripping into the left, but as this video will show, I am long-term more worried at the reaction that could come from this. The left is so detached from reality that it cannot win, as we'll see, but its resentful reaction could...
Chat, my brain is melting. I don't understand why this guy is so brain dead and has thousands upon thousands of subs on YouTube. I don't understand it. Why the fuck is this guy even, like, a historical, like, I want to know his background in history. My brain is hurting listening to this shit. Like, arguments made by teenagers in the 50s is now... What the fuck? What the fuck?
The left's lacking... However, an order based on rebelling against non-order cannot survive. What was harmless rebellion among teenagers in the 50s has now become an all-consuming vortex. The left's lack of sense of stability dooms their movement. I've spent this video so far ripping into the left, but as this video will show, I am long-term more worried at the reaction that could come from this. The left is so detached from reality that it cannot win, as we'll see.
We 10 months ago, by the way, this was uploaded when the left was fucking killing it and actually, like, fending off the red wave. We literally fended off the red wave during the midterm, after, before this video came out. We have a broader social, we have a broader social fucking, like, idea than even right-wingers. They talk about going back to a certain time, but we don't know which time because they're all, undecided on it. I don't know. It's super weird. I don't understand it, man. Like, this. Give me a second. Teenagers in the 50s. What argument is he referring to in that regard? I don't actually know. God, this is actually pissing me off because I'm otherwise really skinny. Like, chat, I'm otherwise really fucking skinny and I look really fucking good, but then this fucking ruins my entire look. Like, it actually pisses me off. But, like, I don't understand how this guy thinks the left is, like, destined to lose when he was just, like, he had uploaded this after our historic fucking win in the midterm, even though we technically got one wrong. Fetterman. Ugh. And, like, I just don't get it. How any of this has any bearing on reality. It feels like the alt history that he is referring to is a history that he's got in his head and nowhere else. I think the alt history is like one that he made the fuck up. Like source, I made it the fuck up. Because like none of this has factual basis on the time that even he uploaded the video in. Like, sure, now, after the video came out, there's been the whole Israel-Palestine debate for the 100th fucking time. Because whether it was, like, debating Hamas rockets before, or whether it was debating the Arab-Israeli war, or... God, we've been doing this shit for a long fucking time, haven't we? Oh my god. I don't know. That is really weird, though, isn't it? We have so much historical precedent for the left being way better at these issues than the right, even when it comes to economics, because we understand the system better than they fucking do somehow. And then this dude wants to turn around and say shit like, the left is not based in reality, like we are. We know what a woman is. Or we know that the darkies belong in their own separate schools and we should keep to our own. Like, what the fuck is this, dude? I don't get it. My brain is melting. Someone threw a water bucket in the Wicked Witch of the West that lives in my brain. Holy shit. I'm melting.
His resentful reaction could be very effective.
Part 2, the Leviathan.
Politics at its core is the art of building coalitions of separate interest groups and incentivizing them to follow you and listen to your agenda. However, the modern left-wing order of strategy has been trying to build the worst coalition possible, or the coalition of losers. We're going to look at...
Wait. The coalition of losers, dude, we work... Wait, no. People who get the shit end of the stick having an equal opportunity being the goal is going to be way more effective at the end of the day because even working class Americans benefit from that shit and the working class is the majority. What are you on, my gamer? We're 10 minutes into a 50-minute fucking video and I already want to kill myself.
The social incentives provided by both the left and the right-wing's coalitions as keys to seeing the future. You need to view our current era, or that stemming back to World War II, as a conscious reaction to World War II. The current ruling class is trying to be the exact opposite of the Nazis. Where the Nazis were nationalistic, masculine, militaristic, racist, and traditional, the modern left is transnational, feminine, pacifist, toxically anti-racist, and progressive.
Toxically anti-racist. Okay. That is one I might partially agree with certain figures on the left, like Professor Flowers or FD Signifier, right? But when it comes to the broader online left, it's more of just like, it's libcuck shit. How, like, none of it's toxically anti-racist. I don't get it. Help me. End my suffering. Chat, kill me. Kill me, chat. Before any fucking conversation about my bed not being made, it is made. Fuck you. Before I get any comments, I got the blanket off, but that's because I was just lying down earlier. And I've been out all day, alright? I got up and immediately called my sister to go hang out with my family, my niece, because unlike them other Democrats, I do believe in the importance of family. God, I need a fucking drink. I need alcohol. Chat, fast forward time so I can be 21 already. I want a drink.
Which pushed intellectual humility.
Fast forward to August.
We didn't think further than let's just do the opposite of the Nazis since they're evil. Also, Marxists
they literally
twisted this for their own benefit. The modern West hates men, its dominant ethnicities, tradition, force, and all that.
We don't. Chat, I think I might just end this segment. I think I might just end this segment here and fucking go to bed again. Like, I can't with this shit. It's so retarded. I can't. My brain is fucking melting. Dude, I'm actively losing brain cells listening to this. Actively listening to the losing brain cells. You can hear it. My brain isn't working because of this motherfucker.
However, the problem with building a coalition of everyone who wasn't part of the previous coalition of power is that it just doesn't make sense. There are often long-standing historic reasons why the dominant ethnic group, men and all of that, are the ones in charge. If you have a country like America and you want it to function, you can't flagellate white people for practicality's sake since they're 3/4 of the population. Well, if we're being really brutal, America has...
Wait. Who's doing this other than, like, Professor Flowers and FD Signifier? Who's actually unironically essentializing race to this degree? We hate essentialization on the left, what? Like, proper leftists hate essentialization. This is, like, objectively what we believe in. And working class Americans are white for the majority. Like, a lot of working class Americans are white, so we kind of do need whitey on our side. As much as we hate them, you know, we gotta have them on our side. No, but, like, unironically, what the fuck is this dude talking about? Please help me. Chat, I need help. Send me money so I can stop being depressed. No, I'm kidding. Don't send me money. Seriously, spend it on your family. It's Valentine's Day. Well, it's no longer Valentine's Day, but it was Valentine's Day. Y'all should go celebrate some time with your loved ones. Holy fuck, my brain. I can't with Whatifalthist history, dude. Because he'll just, like, he'll say some stupid shit like that nobody believes. Oh my lord, like, chat, what I said, today's stream was gonna be good, I meant it. In fact, I'm calling up Nessio because he hasn't shown up in chat yet. And asking where the fuck my homeboy is. Because that is way more important. I need my homeboy on the phone with me if I'm gonna react to this shit. I want to die so bad, chat. You don't understand. Yeah, no, the motherfucker ain't answering. He's out like a fucking light. Why do I have 18 ats on Discord? Why do I have 18 pings in this incel server? Yeah, no, I'm not scrolling up for all that. Okay. Let's get back to crackpipe history. I need it.
Quarters of the population, well, if we're being really brutal, America has flourished while being incredibly cruel to black people, which are only 12% of the population. The reason I went through that long segment earlier on trying to explain the left's worldview is you can only understand how they are this bad at coalition building and having a coherent strategy through understanding how their worldview thinks having a completely idealistic scheme would work. The left's coalition is that between the government, Marxists, women, and ethnic or sexual minorities, including immigrants, largely against white men and the traditions of the society. As said before, the problem with the left's coalition is that it's literally designed off groups that have failed to end up in the ruling coalition. Let's take ethnic minorities. Asians and Hispanics largely want to assimilate into white America, and the track record for former slave black populations gaining power is Liberia and Haiti, both of which are failed states that practice.
Jeez, I wonder why societies that were fucking colonized by the British hundreds of years ago would have problems functioning in today's world when they finally achieve, or when they finally retrieve their power. I wonder why. I fucking wonder, chat. I fucking wonder. No, unironically, like if America got fucking invaded by some third world country and succeeded somehow magically, and then white American dudes came back into power, they'd struggle their asses off trying to fix that shit again. But because whitey colonized, like, really early on, you know, they started that big colonization movement a few hundred years ago, you know, a few centuries back. All of a sudden now they get the gamer dub. They got the epic victory royale, and we just gotta suck it up, dude. And again, to say that the left, outside of like Professor Flowers and FD Signifier and fucking who's that other really weird one? Like, I mean, I disagree with Noah Samson as well, but who's like on their side? I'm just trying to remember all the people in there. Non-compete. It's mainly just tanky groups, honestly. Yeah, it's mainly just tankies. But I don't know, like, outside of like tankies who are basically right wingers, I don't know who's essentializing race, sex, gender identity even. Like, essentialization is cringe, and a lot of people understand this. I don't get it, dude. This complete fucking straw man of the entire left being like anti-white, like the kill whitey shit. I just don't know. It's so fucking brain dead. I don't know.
Slavery, largely since they gained none of the skills needed for leadership due to centuries of oppression. For women, they're absolutely wonderful as individuals and a big reason to keep living as a man, and they also form the bedrock of society. However, women have absolutely no track record for forming large groups. All of society's major institutions, whether militaries, governments, religions, corporations,
Wait, women are half women are around half of the world's population, and yet they're bad at coming together. Really weird take that around half the world's population just apparently wouldn't be enough for a broader social push. Well, I mean, there are also retarded women like Candace Owens and you know, a few others. But no, it's absolutely cringe.
been founded across world history and almost entirely staffed by men. Even nunneries and brothels, entirely female organizations, are run by men. If this was a cultural thing, not a biological, it would fluctuate around world history, but it doesn't. Due to never having to evolve to hunt as a group, women do not have the same instinct towards cooperation that men do. Most really pretty girls have been horribly bullied in high school, and
I don't have to respond to this chat, do I? Like, I don't have to actually respond to every point being made. Sometimes y'all can just know the answer and not have me respond, right? Sometimes y'all just... Can I just go keep power washing and let him rant for a minute about, like, how women are biologically predestined to be in the kitchen making my sandwich? Can I just, like, not have to argue against that because we all know it's retarded? Please? Because I am losing brain cells talking about this. Please, someone for the love of God help. If this motherfucker ever got into power, I would rather kill myself, unironically, than to live in that world. If this guy had any semblance of political power, I would unironically off myself right then and there. Holy shit. He probably wouldn't even get anything done either. He would just tell everyone in America to subscribe to his fucking channel or else they die. Like, it's, oh my god. This raid on Afghans. Give me a second. This raid on Afghani children was sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Holy fuck.
to their friends or guys, since women tear down successful or beautiful women, since their sexual competition is largely zero-sum, while men are sexually rewarded by being what amounts to successful hunters and bringing stuff for the whole community. Studies show women are just as aggressive as men, and they can...
Yeah, wait. I'll respond to that
competition
one.
is largely zero-sum. While men are sexually rewarded by being what amounts to successful hunters, the group, women do not have the same instinct towards cooperation that men do. Most really pretty girls have been...
So what are girls doing in the school bathroom, if I might ask? No, unironically, what are school-age girls doing in the bathroom? Are they not cooperating, or are they not being like besties in there? Do women on average not have larger social circles than men? Are men not socially alienated at times? Like, these are incel arguments I hear all the time from right-wingers, and yet this right-winger wants to acknowledge that, like, this false reality that, like, men aren't actually disproportionately disenfranchised in terms of social acclimation. It's just really weird. Like, yeah, a lot of men aren't really socially acclimated in society, and we need to work on that. We do need to work on that, but I think, like, to blame this on women, like the incels do, is brain dead. Yet this guy over here wants to just completely ignore the reality of the situation, yet he claims to be the only one based in reality. The reality is, like, women do have an easier time socializing with both men and other women. Like, men have a really fucking hard time socializing, I'm sorry. They're just, like, not socially acclimated. I don't know what to tell you. If you think otherwise, you don't understand anything about sociology. This is why sociology is important, by the way, guys. If you just, like, rely on history as a whole, the way this guy has, apparently, like, he's just so obsessed with history that he thinks, like, I don't know, that it was based in red pilled or whatever for women to be in my kitchen making a sandwich, and there was no like even this is historically inaccurate. Him saying like women be wanting the kitchen and men just be better at everything, dude. Men just be better at the jobs. That's why women don't work them. It's not like women couldn't even vote in America before the 1920s, right? Women's suffrage was always something that we had understood and dealt with back when America was founded, correct? We dealt with the whole women voting thing back when we first founded America, chat. Don't forget it.
Horribly bullied in high school when most of their friends are guys. Since women tear down successful or beautiful women, since their sexual competition is largely zero.
Wait, you mean via beauty standards set by men in broader society? That a lot of women collectively get together and say fuck that? So I hate saying collectively because it makes people think I'm a collectivist, but they did, by definition, collectively decide that it's kind of cringe for people to set beauty standards on women. Is that not like part of the broader social movement to tear down beauty standards so women stop eating each other alive because of some shit that men want? Is that not like one of the things? I just don't understand, dude. I really don't.
Competition is largely zero sum. While men are sexually rewarded by being what amounts to successful hunters and bringing stuff for the whole community. Studies show women are just as aggressive as men and they compete.
Oh yeah, dog. Them breadwinners back in the 50s? Little known fact about breadwinners in the 50s. They historically didn't beat their wives when the food was cold. And ethically speaking, they were totally based, actually. Like, this is what no ethical framework does to a motherfucker. Unironically, I am so dead inside having to explain why this motherfucker is stupid. I want to let the video play out, but I know that every time he makes a dumb fuck argument like this, I have to address it, or else someone in the comments will be like, you didn't address this argument made at 42:58 in the video? What the fuck?
Through relationships using something
Gossiping, shaming, and rallying, really?
and Kurt Doolittle refers to as GSR, or gossiping, shaming, and rallying. When you look at cancel culture, how social justice pushes shaming to reach its goals, it's feminine aggression. Likewise, since women have been protected by men from the harshest parts of nature, like war, animals, forest fires, or the jungle,
Wait, but we have women willing to fight in those wars, and we're letting them now because, like, we want as much help as we can get, right? And wait. Unironically, wait.
Why, since women have been protected by men from the harshest parts of nature, like war, animals, forest fires, or the jungle.
And pray tell, one of the dangers during the Industrial Revolution, the workforce, because we had really shitty working conditions for the average American. Did we not? We had some real shit working conditions for the working class. Who worked those jobs when the men were out fighting that war and risking their lives as well? Just very quick question. Oh yeah, the women and the minorities who weren't allowed to go to war because like they were considered a threat to society or whatever, blah blah blah, or second class citizen, blah blah blah. And why is it, if this is all true, why is it that we have a broader social push for women to have more rights in comparison to having less, if less rights made them like more safe or whatever? Do women not want to be safe? Do they like do they have some other axiomatic belief that they push for without realizing? Like, this is literally just ethics 101 and he doesn't comprehend that not everybody has the same exact social or same exact moral framework and axiomatic like principles. I just, oh my lord, please stop uploading to YouTube. Whatifalthist. I might have to make this a two-parter on YouTube just so I can do another stream of this another time because I don't feel like it. It is currently 1:40 a.m. and we are 15 minutes into a 50-minute video, and I want to die. I'll have to like speed up my own voice or something. I fucking hate it.
Social justice can afford to be idealistic. The reason the left is so scared of physical force, saying wars, the police, or even spanking children is wrong, is that GSR simply cannot compete with men's physical force. As a general rule, any man who doesn't...
Wait, no. The reason we say war is immoral is because we kind of don't like the whole people dying over resources thing. Because we think people are better than resources, and that, like, spanking children causes like net negatives throughout that kid's life, like empirically. Studies have already shown that when you don't beat their kids, it leads to better outcomes for the kid. So I don't. Why else would we do this, chat? We're just scared. You don't understand. They banned spanking our kids because we believe that beating the fuck out of them shows how manly we are a bit too much, you know what I mean? Look here, alright? When I bust out the big guns and I fucking whip my kid, I'm showing him how manly I am. And my kid's gonna fucking like it. You hear me? He's gonna fucking like it. My daughter, who I just beat for spilling her crayons all over the floor and not knowing how to pick them up because she's 2 years old, I fucking whooped her ass so hard she ain't waking up. She ain't waking up for a good few weeks. That bitch is getting fed through a tube and she's gonna fucking deal with it. No, unironically, this is why a lot of libs, even libs, understand that when their parents who hit them grow up, like, or when the kids grow up to be at that age where, you know, their parents are needing a nursing home or just needing some form of extra care, they're not going to take in that parent. They're not going to let that parent stick around with them at their own home. They're going to send them to a fucking foster care home and never visit, never call, because why the fuck would they? That person ruined their life. Why, like, if someone ruined your life, you wouldn't want to fucking, like, you wouldn't want to keep them around, would you? You wouldn't want to call, text, or even talk to them. Like, it's getting increasingly to that point with my own father where I don't know if I'm gonna, like, talk to him when he gets into that nursing home. Like, I might do it out of principle, but I don't think I'm gonna be genuine about it. Because that motherfucker, like, not only, like, wanted to force his political beliefs onto me, but he was, like, super aggressive, very loud and abrasive. It just wasn't helpful to me growing up, especially considering I was autistic and and I was a very slow learner for certain things. And he would scream common sense this, common sense that, and I didn't understand. It fucking terrified me as a kid having to hear his voice at all. Because I knew that, like, something was gonna happen and I was either gonna get hit, yelled at, or fucking, like, it was a lot of shit, man. And now that I'm an adult living with him, I play it cool, but we have very different ideals, very different methods of analyzing the world and history itself. We have just so many differences, and as much as I want to talk about them with him and have interesting discourse on the matter, it just turns into shouting matches or him threatening threatening to like cut off the internet so I don't like fucking get anything like logged into my head or whatever that isn't true in his mind. I don't know. It's terrifying shit, man. I don't know. And a lot of kids go through this shit. It's fucking torturous. The mental and physical abuse is just never okay. Especially not for children who are still developing in their lives, you know? Like they're going to suffer. And it's not gonna go well. So to say that like the reason we hate spanking is like spanking our kids is because like we're afraid of the male dominance or whatever the fuck is just like one of those issues I will never take lightly. If someone comes into my chat saying like their parents beat them, I won't sit there and be like, well, you're just not like I want you all to picture it this way. If you were a live streamer, for example, and you read a chat message from someone saying that they're hiding in their room because they broke like a lamp or something, their dad was threatening to beat them, right? Like to a bloody pulp. Would you sit there and try to talk them through it as calmly as possible, or would you be on the side of what if alt history here and say, well, you see, it's not because like beating your kids is bad. It's because you're afraid of his manliness. Like you're afraid of your dad's manliness. What the fuck? Stop being a little bitch and go deal with your dad's manliness, man to man. Like, again, what no ethical framework does to a motherfucker. That one actually like really got to me because I like hit home a little bit. Sorry, but we will be moving on.
Himself loves women as a species. Women have largely escaped the horrors of their own female cooperation by seducing men and forming families, in which they can use their sex as leverage against a single man, rather than trying to fight a social institution in which they as individuals have no leverage. If you were to see a GSR-based movement, it would have two separate things. The first is that it would despise families and the sexes getting along, because that's normally what happens to...
But we like families getting along. In fact, we want more families to we want more families to adopt if they really want kids, right? We want bigger families when it comes to adoption. We want people to be able to afford kids. We want people of all backgrounds to be able to adopt kids, and you know, I'm not seeing that from the right. You know, like they claim to give a fuck about the kids, but then when it comes to shit that actually matters to children, like going to school without fear of being shot, or when it comes to like kids not having not having access to like enough food to get by, when it comes to the parents of those kids struggling financially, you just don't give a fuck about it on the right. But then you'll turn around and be like, abortion bad because we need kids alive, but you'd rather see them alive and starving than like dead before they're even conscious, if you even consider that to be a life, that is. It's just really weird. The things that they focus on seem like there's another reason behind it. I don't know.
Society where the sexes pair off and start families, and modern social justice thinks being a mother is the worst thing a woman can do because it would in effect pull a woman away from fighting against men for the goals of the movement and make her just a member of society. And the second thing is that you would see...
Wait. Remember before when he said that we were rebels against society, even though we were technically the ruling class? And now he's arguing that we actually are like rebels against basic society. Y'all remember that earlier? I do. Because I went on a big rant about how we are the ruling class, and that we are in fact against modern society for beating down on the disenfranchised and those less fortunate. I remember that part, and now he's mad about the methods in which we used to be rebels. I have a feeling he's then going to be like, actually, this method would work, but it's going to be something else this time that's the problem. I don't know, it just doesn't sit right with me. And now we have to deal with the looming threat of GSR. What was it again? Gossiping. I don't even remember. It's so fucking brain dead. It's why I was like wanting this to be a way longer stream. But now that I've been live for literally 2 hours talking about this one situation, or talking about this one video that's 50 minutes long, I want to die.
Vicious undercurrent against successful women, and we see that with the body positivity movement, where it's fundamentally a matter of personal responsibility to keep a healthy weight. But this movement talks about pretty privilege and says you cannot be judged for being overweight and unattractive. The third big group is the state. A group requires leadership, and in a healthy
Wait.
leadership serves the people.
Wait. Did y'all spot the contradiction? With his own
judged for being overweight and unattractive. The third big group is this movement talks about pretty privilege and says you cannot be judged for being overweight and unattractive. The third biggest the body thing is that you would see a vicious undercurrent against successful women, and we see that with the body positivity movement, where it's fundamentally a matter of personal responsibility to keep a healthy weight. But this movement talks about pretty privilege and says you cannot be judged for being overweight and unattractive. The third big group is the state.
So it is a matter of personal responsibility to keep yourself healthy, but they talk about pretty privilege and how you shouldn't be judged for your weight. It's a complete non sequitur from the last statement, isn't it? Like, you're talking about how it's a personal thing for people to keep up with their weight, which to some degree is true. Like, if you're unhealthy and you need to like change up your diet or else you're gonna die, then sure, go fix yourself up, right? Go lose some weight, go do it. I fucking did it. I was weighing 180 and I'm at like 175 and I'm mainly muscle. I feel fucking great. Except for this, I'm gonna start mewing eventually. But actually, I was weighing 190 actually. Fuck. You know, I was about to hit 200 pounds of just pure body weight without any muscle. And then I fixed that. I hit the gym fucking multiple times a day because I had enough free time to do so. You know what I mean? I had the free time to hit the gym like 3-4 times a week. And now, well, it was 3 times a week that I was able to hit enough for because I had to work, but now, I don't have any fucking free time, and I feel like my weight is going to start slipping again anytime soon. I just don't know. It's really weird when people, like... It's really weird when people are saying that, like, you just gotta do it, bro. Or, like, I don't see why these fat bitches can't just hit the gym. It's like, most people can't even afford a $400 emergency, and you want them to spend $10 a month on a Planet Fitness membership and God knows how much on any other gym. Like, I don't even know. It's fucking crazy, dude. In fact, I gotta pay off my gym membership again. Shit. And I should probably go tomorrow because I'm off work, but I don't know. It's really weird. Like, I'm in favor of positive freedom, as I said. So if you really want to, you know, if you really want to go ham on the food and you don't really think you have enough free time to hit the gym and fix yourself, and then you go to a doctor and the doctor says, like, hey, you're probably gonna die, no leftist is gonna go fucking whinging about how the doctor was, like, fat phobic or whatever the fuck. But when you talk about the broader fucking the broader social movement of body positivity, it's more of like, some people are literally genetically predetermined to be overweight, and some underlying conditions such as diabetes and other factors can get in the way of your fucking body shape, that you shouldn't really feel ashamed to be that way. You know, it's just whatever. and that we shouldn't like force people to like we shouldn't force on people these beauty standards is more about, and I argue with this in an incel Discord server all the fucking time because they think that like beauty standards are a set thing that have existed or that have been exactly the same throughout the entirety of history, when there's historical precedent for larger women being more attractive back in the day, back in like the Renaissance era when we would paint more burlesque women. There's a lot of shit about this, and if I had a whole stream dedicated to it, if I wanted to make a whole stream dedicated to just like the Renaissance's beauty standard, sorry, the beauty standards in the Renaissance era compared to our own in today's world, I could. There's enough evidence there to make an entire stream about, but I don't want to do it because it's cringe and boring. And I'd rather get back into the Whatifalthist video.
A group requires leadership, and in a healthy society, the leadership serves the people, but in many cases over history, that state has enslaved and even cannibalized its own populations. One of the books that was able to predict the current political divide was Leviathan and Its Enemies. It talks about the current ruling class, who unironically are taught through a leftist or Marxist philosophic prism, use the downtrodden and oppressed as an excuse to push the bureaucracy and the college-educated into every facet of life. As I've said before in my previous videos, all of the left's policies push things that give the college-educated influence and power in society, while the right tries to benefit those who do not base their power off college degrees.
Yeah, completely incorrect. We've just noticed a trend. Like his only evidence of this would be a trend that makes him look bad, like I said earlier, that the left is just smarter than the right. We just understand these issues way better than the right does for some reason. And it's funny how during Gamergate we only had my nose again. It's funny how during the fuck. Stop. Nose. It's funny how during the Gamergate era, all we had to do was have leftists from today talk about it, and they would have gotten their shit rocked easily. Like, with as much knowledge as we have now about the right back then, they would have just ceased to fucking exist if we used the knowledge that we had today against the right. And it would have been so good. So epic. Anyway. Tech 9. Don't nobody want to head it all upon us if they're credible, don't it? Really anything. Who I'm crazy going to orangutan. Tech 9. Sorry. I like backpack and fucking boom bap type rap. Here we go. Oh, well, anti-racist baby. A is for activist. Santa's husband are the names of these books. He's getting mad at children's books dedicated to like talking about social issues, which is kind of cringe. But I have a strong hunch here that the books are very dumbed down to the point where a child could understand them. And that we're not getting into fucking critical theory with a 2-year-old, alright? This ain't like true indoctrination. If I wanted to indoctrinate a fucking kid, I would have just like literally held an entire class on fucking like why Marx was God or whatever, and then I'd have a tanky for a kid. And then I would kill it for being a tanky. I mean, what? Like the same way that Christian parents force their kids to believe, especially fucking Mormons. Holy shit, we need to have a stream dedicated to why Mormons are amoral pieces of shit. Like completely immoral. But that's for another time. It's just super weird though. Like a lot of this is just super fucking weird, honestly. because there's a lot of contradictions here. Not only are we wrong, but we're holding positions of power and indoctrinating children, but also when it comes to who's been in power for many years, it's never been us, or the coalition that we're trying to build has never been in power, even though that's like the majority of the people in our broader circles. Like the broader left is in power, but also black people, women, and gays have never been in power. Like it's a lot of fucking stupid arguments being made here, and I want to kiss myself.
The state and educated push all these oppressed groups at the
In
expense
Minecraft.
of the dominant culture, since the dominant culture in Western countries has lots of social protections, called freedoms and checks and balances, that could curtail their desire to save the world. This may sound unbelievably cynical, but it is literally what the Frankfurt School, which modern leftism is based off, says their plan is. I really love the metaphor of the Leviathan, since it's a reference to Hobbes's famous 17th century book Leviathan, which, in my opinion, correctly posits the argument the state prevents mass violence and oppression. However, a big difference in the world...
What did the state really do to prevent Jan 6? They knew that shit was coming from a mile away. And what does he think about state violence? You know, like for instance, when used against protesters, if like the state does the violence, is it not violence? Because I think state can do violence. Does no one else think the state can do violence?
That Hobbes wrote that in 400 years ago and today is that the state was so weak to barely function back then, so its growth was largely at the expense of bandits, pirates, oppressive local nobilities, and all that. However, starting in the 20th century, the state became so powerful as to strangle societies. However, the left uses the same justification as the Leviathan, bringing government into every aspect of life in order to protect people, and makes things fair.
Wait, but I'm an anarchist. I want there to be very minimal state power and only allow the government to do what it's good at. I don't understand why would I advocate to why would I advocate for a minimal government if I wanted to have complete authoritarian state power? I just don't know. And I say I'm an anarchist, but it's interchangeable with libertarian socialist. I don't understand how the broader left. Ah, my nose. Ah, pop that bitch too. I don't know if that picked up on the mic, but that shit popped. Ow. I just don't know how the broader left wants to protect people, and all of a sudden that means state violence or whatever. Even though the right broadly loves fucking state violence against protesters and shit. I gotta get through this video. God damn it! I wanna die.
The Leviathan is
My hair black.
metaphor, since it's a reference to the sea monster from the Bible. In the cultural context that the Bible was written in, the Leviathan, and even more directly, the Mesopotamian Tiamat it's very clearly based off, is the symbol of the force of feminine chaos in the universe. And I mean, fuck it, the left even uses demonic imagery to describe itself at this point. It doesn't get more chaos than that. And in the same way...
Wait, what does he say?
More chaos than that. And in the same way as Tiamat and Leviathan were killed
yeah, sorry. I forgot why I paused originally, and I got, like, lost trying to read some tweet about a statue, I guess, for critics of RGB. I don't know. And what ended up happening was I missed the point that he was saying that they used demonic imagery when he described the left as like celebrities wearing red and like doing this or whatever to be edgy. It's just as retarded as you think.
The masculine god of the coherent strategy and written word, you will see a rebellion by young men kill the Leviathan.
Ah.
There's an African saying that goes, you will see a rebellion
Sorry, I was
by
trying to read
young
part
men
3.
kill the Leviathan.
Young men.
There's an African saying that goes, if you don't give the young men a place in the village, they will burn it down to feel its warmth. The Leviathan's coalition has made a couple completely fatal errors, which doom them over the next few decades. One of the two largest is that it simply provides no incentive for young men, who form the gap.
Okay. I will say, there isn't enough love for men on the left, but it does exist. And to say it doesn't is completely, like, divorced from reality. I just don't understand why. I don't understand why this motherfucker really be out here about a dude. Like, it's the Andrew Tate shit of, like, the reason Andrew Tate was allowed to be as popular as he was is because we didn't give men enough love, dude. We didn't have a figure of masculinity on the left to, like, help. Or not, sorry, not a figure of masculinity, but, like, a figure of positive masculinity on the left who could explain to men, like, why statutory rape is wrong or something, you know? Like, there's a lot of shit. Like, could you imagine if we had a figure on the left who was, like, super fucking, like, pro-man? Right? Like, we had some figure on the left who was, like, the leftist Andrew Tate. That'd be fucking awesome. But right now, the best we have is fucking Hassan and maybe Vosh. And they're not even, like... Yeah, I wouldn't even consider Vosh and, I wouldn't consider him, like, an embodiment of masculinity, you know? Well, maybe positive masculinity and, like, gay masculinity, but, like, not quite. Like, I'm just saying I wouldn't say Vosh is really who they'd go for when it comes to representing men. Shit, let me get closer. Yeah, when it comes to representing men, I just don't think Vosh does a good enough job. Because the average dude is straight, he's pan, you know, kind of shit. If anything, I could low-key do that, but there's a lot more broader issues on the left to talk about, and I would love to talk to young men and tell them, like, that there are people on the left who support them, and there are things that society does to fuck over men, and they are things that I want to deal with. I just also recognize that a lot of people on the right disingenuously use this shit, like Andrew Tate, as a reason to just hate all leftist social progress, or even liberal progress for that matter. They go super fascist. It's crazy.
Society to work inside the system and not rebel against it. The paradox inside young men is that they are simultaneously by far the most powerful force in society, but they're also incredibly insecure. Young men are the demographic that wages war, explores, builds, does the vast majority.
Wait, no, he did the Ben Shapiro thing. Men build. Men build men build, create, and or what was the Ben Shapiro fucking tweet about Israel and Palestine? God damn it. Here, Ben Shapiro sewage tweet. Yeah, here it is. He literally did Ben Shapiro. Israelis like to build. Arabs like to bomb crap and live in open sewage. This is not a difficult issue. Hashtag settlements rock. It's so bad.
Of scientific or philosophic breakthroughs is the major driving force behind the economy in both hours worked and in trying and discovering new things. Young men are the force that just pushes society forwards, and once society start to age and lose young men.
Wait. Let's play that again. And then just not address it because I cannot be fucking bothered to address such a retarded point.
Young men are the force that just pushes society forward.
Do you see it in my face? I will get closer. Do you see it in my eyes? That I want death. I crave death. Depth perception. See, that's what I said. God damn it, dude. We're not even halfway through. I am... No, I can't. I'm ending the segment.
And once society start to age and lose young men, like Japan or Europe, they just stop doing anything new and decay. Young men are quite insecure because they're society's foot soldiers, and they're willing to do that in exchange for being a hero or getting a beautiful wife. However, this makes them extremely sensitive to political changes because it could kill them, and that's why the audience for this YouTube channel is so heavily young. You have twice as many female ancestors as...
Whoa, what was that audio error in the background? That was like leftist audio I heard for a second.
Changes because it could kill them, and that's why the audience for this YouTube channel is so heavily young. You have twice as many...
Y'all heard that shit? He layered the audio. You're gonna hear where the next segment began because it was an overlap right here instead of pinky. Oh, fuck. Oh my god, dude. I needed to laugh.
Female ancestors as audience for this YouTube channel is so heavily young ancestors, and they're willing to do that in exchange for being a hero or getting
so I need to go back to this.
Once societies start to age and lose young men, like Japan or Europe, they just stop doing anything new.
Wait, Japan and Europe lost young men, and now they're decaying? Even though Japan and Europe are two of, like, the most functional societies still? I don't understand. Like, I get Japan and Europe have shit fucking takes, much like America, but to say that Japan and Europe are failed countries, what reality is this motherfucker living in? Like, to say that Japan is in decay. It's a giga-capitalist country. I said G-I-G-A, by the way. Don't even. Giga, I said. Don't try me. I just don't get it, dude. It hurts. My brain is melting. Europe and Japan are Give me the crack pipe. Fuck it. Give me the crack pipe. Give me that crack pipe, baby. Yeah, no, I can't. I can't with this shit. What? Why? Who, what, when, where, why, and how? Who did this happen? Where did this happen to? What happened? Who did it happen to? And when, where, why, and how did it happen? I gotta hit play at some point. But I really don't want to. I really don't wanna. Give me another hit. Chat, please subscribe to my YouTube so that I can feel less depression. And YouTube, please follow me on Twitch so I can have less depression.
And once societies start to age and lose young men, like Japan or Europe, they just stop doing anything new and decay. Young men are quite insecure because they're society's foot soldiers, and they're willing to do that.
Men are insecure because they're not socially acclimated, and we have these really weird beauty standards set on us. Because both women and men are shallow as fuck. Men, in fact, are shallow about themselves way harder, I think, than women are shallow on us, because men run society right now, and for some reason, in this society run by men, women prefer a 6'6", you know, 6 feet, 6 inches, and 6 figures. Is that kind of weird? How in a society run by men, women have weird, unrealistic standards for men. And vice versa. Anyway.
In exchange for being a hero or getting a beautiful wife. However, this makes them extremely
What is
sensitive
beautiful?
to political changes because it could kill them, and that's why the audience for this YouTube channel is so heavily young. You have twice as many.
The reason his channel's mainly young men is because he can't pull any larger demographics. And I bet, like, I am willing to bet my entire channel that a good fucking portion of those young men are also straight up just not marginalized in any way, shape, or form. And by that I mean they're all they're all in relation to John Ritz, if you know what I mean. Ritz, you know what I mean? That word. They have a fondness for Hellmans, you know what I mean? I'm trying to say Mayo Monster and crap. Oh wait. If I do this, I look like a robot. Target locked. What if alt hissed? That's actually really cool. There.
Female ancestors as male ancestors for a reason. A healthy society feeds young men stories of heroism in order for role models, gives them apprenticeships with older men who teach them useful skills to become stakeholders, and marries them off young. However, modern societies give young men absolutely no incentive to work with them. The economy is terrible, with social mobility collapsing with no direction forward for most young people. The media hates masculinity, refusing to put out any content with male role models. The society
Wait, refuses to put out content with male role models. Buzz Lightyear is not a male role model, I guess. And I actually love a lot of the movies coming out right now. Like, dude, did people not fucking love Ken in the Barbie movie? Because he grew out of the whole misogyny thing. Like, he was a dumbass, and he grew as a character, did he not? And everybody has, like, everyone's talking about the Kenergy they got, dude. Ken is a great role model, bro. I don't know what y'all mean. Ken? Ken is, like, the new Sigma male in today's society. I want all my YouTube comments to just be, I'm just Ken, if you made it this far, you know what I mean? Anywhere else I'd be a 10.
And docility ever since childhood. The educational system which provides socialization is incredibly feminized. I remember when I was 10, I drew pictures of since childhood. The educational system which provides socialization is incredibly feminized. I remember when I was 10, I drew pictures of swords in my free time, and I talked about battle and knights. And my parents were called in because they were worried I might become a school shooter. And that's just normal stuff.
I think they had other reasons to assume that, but sure, buddy. Everyone thought I was gonna be a school shooter too, and shit. Statistical analysis dictates. And also, because, fun fact on a lot of political violence in America is that a lot of it right now is done by, at least on a mass murder scale, is usually done by right-wingers. Although, as a Texan, we do have to talk about Joel Osteen next time, because his megachurch got shot up by some woman who had like a history of mental illness, and now they're claiming it's like a woke mind virus or whatever. And I wanted to remind you guys after I uploaded the video on after I uploaded my last video on Justin Moan, I still have yet to see any coverage of Justin Moan from the Daily Wire or from any other right-wing sources. I don't even think Tim Pool's talked about it yet. It's one of those things they're brushing under the rug, because it's their talking points verbatim being spit out next to a guy who cut his dad's head off, and that's very hard to justify. Anyway.
Guys do. If you look at sex, this picture's even more horrifying. Male virginity, for a series of reasons.
Young male virginity on the rise? Wait, this graph has nothing. This graph doesn't even compare it to female virginity as well, which was also on the rise. Not as proportionally, but yes, female virginity was on the rise during that time as well. And this graph ends in 2018, in which virginity would have skyrocketed even more because of COVID afterward, if you would have just showed like a newer graph about it. Like, I've seen this graph before already, but I saw the version of it that also compared it to female virginity, which was also on track to go up. And then COVID. 3 whole years of being locked in our homes because of some guy eating a bat in China. I don't know, it's super weird.
Tackle in this video has quadrupled in the last 10 years. For the first time, a majority of people at age 30 are single and childless. I consider myself a decently connected and social guy, and of the 50 most handsome, charismatic, and successful guys I know, and this includes CEOs, influencers, and all that, about 3 are in relationships. Large groups of sexually frustrated young men are an incredibly good predictor of political violence. For some reference against the historic standard, in most cultures in the world, the young are married off at a young age by their parents, and the wives are usually slaves.
Parents having authoritarian control over their kids' sex life? You want to go back to that? Kind of weird. I don't want my parents knowing who I'm banging at any given time. My dad still thinks I'm in a relationship. I am not. And the reason I don't tell him is because I just don't want him in my fucking business. I literally just don't want that man all up in my grill. Who I do and don't have sex with is none of my father's concern. And advocating for a society that makes it the parents' job to marry their kid off is one I don't want to live in, because that would, like, remove the kid's freedom. Has nobody seen Corpse Bride? Holy shit, Corpse Bride is awesome. If you want proof of why marrying kids off is cringe, Tim Burton's Corpse Bride is fucking awesome. Like, oh my god. Back in a society where you would be married off at a young age was cringe as fuck, my guy. Like, I hate recommending movies about that shit, but, like, it was the norm. It was a movie literally describing what the norm was back in that time period that it was based on. And the broader movie was also just, like, the whole point of the movie was why that very societal structure was cringe. It's literally because these people didn't want to marry but were forced to for money, which would be a pretty cool thing to talk about with a Marxian lens. Now that I've adopted these beliefs after a while. Well, I don't want to say adopted. I've developed these beliefs over time. Back to the brain dead crack pipe video.
Their husbands. This isn't an especially good sexual orientation, but the fact that it's the historical and social norm around most of the world even today shows how keeping the number of sexually frustrated young men down and incentivizing them to work in society by having kids is so important. The sad truth is that women have been horribly oppressed by men over history, since societies are incentivized to sacrifice women to get men to work harder. This breaks down even more with the high divorce rate. Men work hard with the knowledge that they can get married and thus pass on their genes. However, with no-fault divorce, 40% of marriages fail, which is initiated in 70% of cases by women, and among the college-educated,
Based.
90% among women. It's normal for a woman to walk away with the kids and a majority of a man's money. Marriage is the foundation of every society ever, and in the modern context, there's absolutely no incentive for a man to get married and have children, since he can lose everything for having done nothing wrong. Modern society shames young men for having done nothing wrong, rather imagined crimes committed by their ancestors. Young men are wired to look for female approval genetically to breed, and so having female disapproval scream at them will cause immense resentment. The feeling among young men that it's not unwarranted is that they're in a losing game where no matter what they do, they fail. They have no direction forward or male role models, meaning in the really hard times we live in, which is why figures like Andrew Tate or Jordan Peterson are so successful.
I'll agree with him here.
The Leviathan's coalition is held together at the expense of young men. Thus, it cannot let up and give young men a bone. Also, like the creature it's named after, without belief in any kind of structure or strategy, the Leviathan pushes onwards inchoately. The Leviathan knows subconsciously that a young male rebellion is in the works, which is why it cracked down on Tate so harshly, since he had become a rallying cry that could be used against them. Peterson is demonized, except most of his philosophy is just telling young people to be responsible, and even his anti-trans takes would have been normal 10 years ago. I'm often called a Nazi.
Wait.
Or far right, even though I'm one of the very few people in the public sphere who actually talks about how other cultures and anthropology works.
Yeah, you do it very terribly, I will say. In a way that is like completely ahistorical from anyone else with a degree in history. I want this to go on record. I have a streamer friend named JQuest, right? He's a really cool guy. You guys should check him out. JQuest spelled Qwest, right? Really cool guy. And he literally, give me a second. Sorry, I had to get off. I had to change my seating position because it felt uncomfortable. But he literally had to fucking. I made him watch a Whatifalthist history video with me for a bit. I can't remember which one I made him watch, but I wanted to just watch it with him as a joke because I was talking about like the Vosh shit from before. I can't remember which one we watched. I'm gonna have to look into what if. Oh yeah, wait. I could do that. Can I? Can I see what videos I've watched on his channel? There's only this video and that one, so I should be able to see which one I watched. Oh yeah, why we're facing another 30 years war. Not even a quarter of the way into it, he's like, dude, I want to stop watching this. This has nothing to do with fucking history. Like, this is completely ahistorical. It's like, dude, I know. Like, he's very shit at his job, first of all, and I'm sorry I stayed quiet for a lot of that video right there, but he kind of it was a good fun tactic that the right loves to use, which is showing little nuggets of truth and then using them to justify really dumb shit, right? Because yes, men do have a very hard time being socially acclimated, and they are very much a danger in the sense that like they are the cause of a majority of political violence throughout history, and are also in recent history being definitely overrepresented with mass shootings and other really bad shit. But again, like the people who are better at men's issues aren't people like Whatifalthist. I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. Sorry, where was I? Oh no.
The thing
Oh,
about
we finished the next section. Okay, I can end my fucking stream, right? This is enough to show why Whatifalthist is a fucking retard, right? We don't have to watch the other half of this video, do we? Please tell me no, chat. I don't want to watch the rest of this. I really don't. It's so stupid. Please save me. Somebody save me from my own. Live my life to run before I come undone. Save me from the nothing I've become. Oh my god, I want to die, chat, please. I'm begging you, chat. And YouTube. YouTube, I will do a part 2 if y'all really want me to. But I really don't want to. I really don't want to. Very badly, I don't. Can we please not? Please? Chat? YouTube? Alright, cool. I'm ending it. Fuck y'all. That was half of Whatifalthist History's The Coming Far Right Backlash video. If y'all really want me to do the other half and keep me depressed, like if y'all really crave me to be depressed that bad, I'll do it. But I think I made the point very clear that Whatifalthist History doesn't know shit about even like modern history. Like not even like modern historical consensus. Or like understand social movements from the left at all. And I think he also advocates for really stupid shit. As you guys heard, he literally wants women back in the kitchen. He wants that 1950s trad wife shit because he can't pull a girl on his own. And he also said, I think I'm a social dude, when he says shit like that. I don't know. Yeah, just surprise me, please, by saying no, actually, we know Whatifalthist is stupid. Or, hey, I'm a former right-winger, and watching this video proved that Whatifalthist history gives people, like, mental aids. And makes them want to want to commit toaster bath. Just surprise me a little bit. Alright, I'll see y'all tomorrow. I crave to stop existing. And before I go, I wanted to thank y'all for allowing me the opportunity to even have this platform. I know it's a really weird thing to talk about now, but you know, before I uploaded my first video, I wasn't even pulling like 30 views a video. And now I'm pulling like 1,000 just because I decided to talk politics off stream and on YouTube. I don't know. And I finally started to get into research on these topics. And it's really nice. I get to have a broader audience of people to talk to in my Twitch chat now, and I get to talk about the things that I care about. And I appreciate it. And I hope this face reveal goes well enough that I don't have to worry about hiding it anymore, right? I don't want to hide this face. I did a few streams with this face cam beforehand just because I was that worried about how people would react about my face on a stream. And I'm hoping it's not too terrible. But I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Alright, see ya. I'll see ya. If you're watching the stream, I'll see you tomorrow. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'll see you next time I decide to stream politics and upload it. See you around.